Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today to hear, are you going to kill me or feed me? I know that there are so many workshops and I really appreciate you viewing this video. So make sure you send me a note if you have any questions. There's quite an extensive reference page. And so if for some reason you're interested in that, please send me an email at the end of this talk and I'm happy to send you the references. This is a talk about the nervous system and polyvagal theory. It's based on the research of Stephen Porges and Deb Dana. So let's begin. So let's start out by introducing me. My name is Jenny Simon, and I'm a therapist, an author, a mental health educator, and a public speaker. I've been a therapist and a college educator for 20 years. I wrote a book called Do I Need a Therapist? And my job is to help people with bad childhoods feel better. So I actually specialize in trauma work. So today we're going to look at our ancient nervous system, our autonomic nervous system. And this system is designed to keep us safe. It works on autopilot. We don't even think about it. And it can tell within 3 seconds whether or not we trust someone. And this system dictates our behavior. And it's way outside of our frontal lobe thinking. And it's also outside of our stress response. So the goal of this talk is that we understand a little bit more about this autonomic nervous system so that we kind of have compassion for why we may feel not like ourselves right now. So the question we're going to start with is, are you in survival mode? And I'm sure a lot of us are in survival mode. And so the answer would probably be yes. So the question I would ask is there anything predictable that is happening right now? And the answer is no. And when we do not feel that there's any predictability, we are often in fear. So notice when your body is shifting into a state of defense. And when we feel attacked or afraid, we defend ourselves. We reject things. So that's kind of frontal lobe. But in addition to that, we have a reaction system. That is that autonomic nervous system. It starts at the top of our head and moves all the way down to our tailbone. And that reacts for us. It helps keep us safe. So we are probably the worst that we've ever been right now because our bodies are actually designed to protect us. So I want to position us by thinking about us as human animals. So our autonomic nervous system that's working for us to protect us, that was designed about 80,000 years ago. So it's a very old system. We haven't been upgraded very much. So during that 80,000 years ago when our nervous system was being created, we ate less, we ate wild food, we ate more fiber, we had a lot more nuts and grains, we slept about 10 hours a night, we were active outside, we were in nature, we were interacting with the natural cycles. And here's the most important part. We were deeply connected to about 100 people at most. We were in small communities or pods, and we relied on these communities for our food, for our safety, for shelter, for childcare. We moved together, we responded together, and we knew instantly if someone was upset. Now today, our world is very different. Our world is unpredictable. We're unable to see the future. We stay inside. We sit. We're really not connected to nature's cycles. We grab processed food to go. We're lucky if we get 6 hours of sleep a night. And then here's the most important feature. We are connected to 7 billion people when we are on social media. So gone is that 100-person pod that's moving together. We're now connected to 7 billion people. And so as crises arise in our communities and we want to reach out across the web, we see videotapes of people who are in pain or hurting. We reach out and our stress system is just simply overwhelmed. We were not meant to interact with 7 billion people. So because of that, we might get body aches or belly aches or headaches. And once we're triggered, the most important thing to know is that we can't talk our way or think our way through this. Basically, we have to soothe our entire nervous system. So the title of our talk was, are you going to feed me or are you going to kill me? And this is actually a question that our system asks every single time that we connect with another person. So our brain and our nervous system runs through this question every single time we meet a person. This is not a logical brain asking, are you going to kill me or feed me? This is unconscious. This is old, primitive, nervous system, and it is seeking safety or survival. So rather than us evolving with an accurate picture of what reality is, our organs, our nervous system evolved to help us know only what we needed to know to survive, basically just to keep us safe. So the autonomic nervous system is a human survival tool. First, we have to survive. So in order to survive, I have to be safe. And in order for me to be safe, I better connect with people because they could kill me. So what we do is we scan the system. This scanner is outside of our frontal lobe, and it is also outside of our stress response. So we're scanning, and these cues of safety or danger come from our body, come from the environment, and come from connection with other people's nervous systems. So imagine like two Legos connecting, nervous system to nervous system, saying, are you going to feed me or kill me? And this is an 80,000-year-old system. So our autonomic nervous system, not our brains, but our autonomic nervous system dictates our state and our story. This nervous system is designed to be in connection with other nervous systems. It is searching for warning or welcome from other systems. And we do this in 3 seconds. This is completely unconscious. It's not in our awareness. We're not even knowing we're doing it. So every time we meet someone, our social safety is engaged. We look at the crow's feet on the side of people's eyes and we say, are you smiling or are you grimacing at me? So we look for that warning or that safety. We also look for their face. Are you glaring at me? Are you giving me a neutral look? Are you warm? We're also scanning with our ears for sounds of danger or safety. Also the voice, we're listening to intonation and pitch. Somebody who's talking to us monotone and flat, that's a sign of danger. We're also looking for face and head tilt. Are you being friendly? Are you my friend? Are you gonna kill me? If a face is still and blank, that often means we're in danger. The nervous system is regulating you. You are not in control of this system. So the two systems that kind of hijack us are our sympathetic stress system. This is designed to get us out of danger. And so this is us in high stress. It's like a car towing a trailer uphill all the way. In this state, we are in danger, we're laboring, we're seeking protection, we might misread cues, we might feel rigid, we may feel cut off from others. This is fight, flight. We might feel disorganized, feel out of control, or feel scared. And this gets triggered every time we're scared. The dorsal system, the dorsal vagal system, is below the diaphragm. And this is what Stephen Porges talks about. Basically, this system kicks in once that fight, flight, when I cannot fight you and I cannot flee from you, I shut down. So that's what this dorsal system is. This is freeze. This is basically I play dead. So in this system, we have no awareness. We're out of connection. Everything slows down. So our belly issues might come up, digestive problems, collapse, depression, shut down, disconnect, numb, escape, lost, fuzzy, foggy. And so this is a response that I can't fight you and I can't run away, so I'm going to shut down. So there's a hierarchy, right? So the first thing we do is we try to connect. Hi, friend. Are you my friend? So we seek safety and connection. If we don't find it, then we fight. We either fight or we get out. We flee. And then the last thing is, I can't fight you. I can't run away, so I'm going to shut down and play dead. So if I try to communicate and I can't get anywhere, then I'm going to fight you or I'm going to run away. If I can't do that, then I'm going to shut down. So notice what's happening in your system right now. We are triggered all over everything that's happening in the media. And so notice, are you shutting down or are you hyper aroused? If you're shutting down, then that means that your dorsal vagal, which is below your diaphragm, is basically telling you, play dead. So in that system, we want to gently return to action. We might want to imagine action. We want to feel what it feels like to be around people who are moving. So we go to an outdoor mall and just witness people who are moving around. Watch pets, be in nature, listen to music. We want to force pleasure in this state. We want to activate those neurotransmitters like dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, those good feelings around pleasure and excitement. So we want to kind of force that if we feel like we're shutting down, like a depressed state. If we're overstimulated, hyper aroused because we're watching the media or the news all day long, we want to be able to discharge that energy and move into someplace kind of calmer. So try movement or music to kind of get some of that energy out, discharge that overwhelm. Otherwise, if we don't, we're going to keep cycling with fight, flight, fight, flight, fight, flight. We all have those friends on Facebook who, you know, every morning we get all of their fight every morning. And so that's that system. So we may want to limit our screen time, take walks, go out in nature, and soothe ourselves. Water is a great resource for that. This is a very important system. It was designed to move us as units. And so female systems sync up. We regulate with each other so that the community can move together and pause together. That's why our cycles are the same when we're in close contact with each other. It's also a safety device. If the camp is in danger and one person, which is the lookout, has a high response, their eyes are dilated, their ears are open, their heart's beating, the whole camp will suddenly mirror that same response. The same exact thing happens in the animal kingdom. If mama deer is eating and all of a sudden she hears a predator, her ears, her eyes, her heart, the baby that's right next to her, the body is the exact same response. Ears, eyes, heart. And then when mama takes off to outrun the predator, baby follows really closely. There was some research out of London where they did some people in the theater, and they realized that all of our hearts beat together when we sit together in a theater. So this we don't even need to be together for long periods of time, right? How long are we in a theater? A couple hours. But again, we regulate with each other so that we can move together. Same thing with chewing. There was research that we chew at the same rate together in a restaurant. Again, we're syncing up in very short periods of time, nervous system to move and regulate. We also have a negativity bias. So basically, the negativity bias is I could get a carrot or I could get a stick. If I get a carrot on one day, or I don't get a carrot on one day, it's okay. I'll get a carrot tomorrow, or I'll go find another carrot. But if I get a stick, that could mean I would die. So I have to be hyper aware of the stick. Our nervous system was created for survival. It's well intended, but our brains and our systems overlearn from the negative. Remember that stick. And then we underlearn from the positive. A carrot, I'll get one tomorrow. So we kind of blow that off. So the brain had to focus on the negative in order to keep us safe. The practicality of this is then we focus on all the negatives. So we have lots of people, we're like, why are you being so negative? And it's because our brain is designed to do that. If there's 100 light bulbs in Vegas, I'm gonna find the one that's out. We also scan for blank faces. So if I come across a crowd and everybody's smiling at me except for the one, my eyes are gonna focus on that one face that is not smiling. Neutral face is dangerous because that neutral face, that person could have a weapon behind their back and they could be ready to kill me. And so again, this is outside of our conscious control. This is the ancient scanner that's 80,000 years old, scanning for some level of incongruency, and it's designed that way to keep us safe. So what do we do? How do we override the system so that I'm not triggered all the time? The answer is we don't. There's nothing we can do. We can't hack it. We have to just have compassion, and we have to understand why we're being triggered. We might even be able to avoid things that trigger us. So when our nervous system is activated, we can't logic our way through it. We can't talk our way through it. It is designed to help keep us safe. So a snake is a snake. I am not going to be able to look back and say, oh, that's not a snake, that's a stick. I'm not going to be able to do that until I'm soothed, because in the moment, the only thing that our nervous system is designed to do is get us out of there. So we can gain self-awareness. We can increase our knowledge of what triggers trigger us. We can engage in self-soothing and self-regulation. We can also gain knowledge about what people or situations trigger us. And we can ask, does this person expand me or contract me? And so we can notice, I'm feeling really weird around this person. There's nothing disordered about what's happening right now in terms of our reaction to stress. This is a very stressful time. And so all of our systems are reacting all over the place. And one thing to know is when that systematic stress system has kicked in, then that means our frontal lobe is offline. We are no longer thinking. So if we are stimulated or shut down, we are not thinking very well, and it's designed that way. It's designed to keep us safe. So we can't think or talk our way out of that calm. So if you can't calm down, then you're not really functioning. And so here are my favorite 3 fire ways to get us to feel calm. First, sleep. We need more sleep anyway, so go take a nap. Your nervous system will love it and it will reset you. Or float in a pool. If you have the luxury of having a pool and you can float and relax, this will reset you. Based on the sure information of if I'm in danger, I'm not going to have time to go float in a pool. So my body has to really relax and I'm soothing myself in that water. If all else fails, get a big bowl, fill it with ice water and some ice cubes and dunk your face in it. Put your whole face in that big bowl of water, especially the area around your eyes, your scuba mask area. Stick your face in there, hold your breath for a few seconds, and then come out. And then stick your face in there again for a couple seconds, and then come out. Do that like 5 or 6 times. Again, that will reset your nervous system. It stimulates your diving response. We can also release the energy. When we're stressed, we can soothe the vagal system and release adrenaline. So close your eyes. 80% of your stimulation comes in through your eyes. My favorite breathing exercise is 4-2-7. You breathe in for 4, you hold your breath for 2, and you breathe out for 7. This is a really great way to regulate your system. Do this about 5 to 7 times. You'll calm down right away. 4-2-7, really great. You want to extend that exhale. You can also rub your palms together. This is a really nice way to soothe the vagal system. Rubbing your palms together underneath warm water, that's nice. And then you can always stimulate the frontal lobe by using smell. So you're kind of forcing yourself out of that shutdown response, and you're using your olfactory sense, which is a really strong indicator, and you can smell citrus up your left nostril, and that'll kind of get you right out of that intense emotion. Breathing is the best way to control and regulate the system. So slow down your breathing, 6 to 8 breaths a minute versus the 12. Do a slower exhale, like that 4-2-7 that we just learned. Avoid rapid breathing if you're in a sympathetic state. So this is not the time to take a tantra breath of fire class where you're breathing in very fast. This is not that time. Maybe you want to do a long sigh. That resets your system, your thoughts stop. Do a couple sighs. Blow bubbles, use a kazoo, sing, hum, gargle. All of these things soothe your vagal. You can also put your hand on your heart and breathe into your heart and breathe out of your heart. Use some heart math. That's always a good thing. Do some systematic relaxation, that muscle tension where you kind of squeeze each muscle and then relax. There's lots of great exercises on YouTube that you can Google called muscle relaxation or systematic muscle relaxation. Think about people that you love. Imagine them with you. Bring out pictures, call them, have a Zoom call, play a game over the internet. That way you feel connected. That's a great way. Yoga, Qigong, Tai Chi, being around animals, all of those things are great for your system. A thought process, which I really like, it stops an emotional flooding. This was done by the work of Tree Franklin. You start out with where you are. I am angry. And you say that like 4 times. Then you flip the word I am to I feel. I feel anger. So now all of a sudden, I'm not angry. I'm just feeling angry. Okay, so that again gives me a little bit of separation. So say that about 4 or 5 times. Then flip it and say, I feel energy. Energy is what an emotion is. Emotion is just energy. So you go from I am to I feel energy. I'm separating myself. And last but not least, I feel. So you go from I am angry, I feel anger, I feel energy, I feel. I can feel the softening just doing that. So try that. You also want to remember the basics. Our system likes predictability, so give it a schedule. Sleep, shower, stick with a routine, and then sort. Have a best friend, a journal, a therapist. Work out all of these ideas that are going on in your mind. And then limit social media, especially if you have anxiety. It's just going to trigger you. And then for those of us who have trauma, remember when you are triggered, you are not back in that memory. You're not back at that time. You're not feeling the full experience. You're just in a memory or a history or a pattern. So when you're kind of replaying that memory, try to do it with a color. Run it through with blue or pink or orange or green. So again, you're trying to get separation so that that memory isn't flooding you, but that you're kind of giving yourself a little bit of a distance. You're not experiencing the real moment. You're experiencing kind of an old pattern. So run it through with color and see if that gives you some distance. And then last but not least, remember that every second of your life, your autonomic nervous system is protecting you. Your system never stops trying to protect you. Here's some references, and then here's my contact information. If you want to ask for those references or send me an email if you have questions, I can be found at jsimon@email.arizona.edu, or I can also be found on my website at rethinkingtherapy.com. Thank you so much for your time today, and have a great day.